A client said to me this week, "I'm surprised you don't talk more about ethical investment because I know you do a lot of it." True on both counts, and a prompt to revisit the topic. Since we started talking about and recommending ethical investments, which is well over 10 years ago now, much has changed and much has stayed the same. One change has been the name or names. Many ethical funds have become sustainable funds. Responsible investment has become the generic name for this sort of thing. Another jargon, ESG and positive impact, have come into the now rather confusing mix. So, what does it all mean? Well, the original ethical funds avoided investing in nasty stuff, of which the most obvious candidates were fags, booze, guns, and of course oil or fossil fuels, and usually the big raping the forests mining companies. The sustainable label added to the mix not just avoiding the bad stuff, although one man's bad is another man's keeping the world's economy going, I know, but it added looking for the sectors or industries which would keep the world going in the future. And perhaps controversially, that often includes some of the big tech and pharmaceutical companies. Positive impact investing adds a third element, which is seeking out businesses which do good stuff, maybe feeding the hungry, housing the homeless, bringing water to the drought-ridden, but for a profit. Then we have ESG, which stands for environmental, social and governance, a label to which actually any business can aspire. Again, controversially, perhaps a company you might not want to include in an old-fashioned ethical investment fund might qualify if they turn out all of the office lights at night, plant a tree or two when an exec flies somewhere, and pay the minimum wage wherever they need to. Confused? Well, yes, for something that was once simple, it has become a complex thing. Maybe inevitable when competition, which is a good thing, brings choice and innovation, and regulators suddenly realise that they need to regulate. So how can you tell what you're getting and whether it's what you want? We use a rough and ready but pretty effective rating system of our own. The most ethical of the ethical funds, mainly those positive impact portfolios I mentioned, we classify as vegan. Lighter green are other fund of ethical funds, which we call vegetarian. Lighter still, the pescatarian will screen out the big nasties, but still give a pretty broad spread of investments. And most of those ESG screened funds we'd call farm assured. Still meaty, but with animals who've maybe seen a field and some daylight. Now often the cost varies accordingly. The darkest green vegan funds need more work and research and cost more accordingly. Anyway, a complicated subject, I think worthy of a couple of hits, so more perhaps for another week.